Hello and welcome in, peeps. Much love. This video is about motivation, how to get more motivated, and specifically the difference between the hyper-motivated, hyper-successful, and the unmotivated, not so successful, in their daily thought patterns. We really want to be in this hyper-successful group, so we need to study the difference between what these people are thinking. And if we look at motivation, there's a lot of different micro factors we could study, but we get down to the root of it. The biggest difference between these motivated and unmotivated groups is the way that these groups think about death. So the hyper-motivated people are very, very aware of their own mortality. They are aware that I'm going to die someday. It might be 10, 20 years from now, but it might only be 5 years or 1 year or tomorrow. So I'm going to wake up and I'm going to thank God or thank the universe. I'm so fucking lucky to be alive, and I might die tomorrow. So today I'm going to leave my legacy. I'm treating today like it's my last day. I'm impatient in getting started. I'm going to have long-term plans, but today I want to leave my legacy, because if I die tonight, I want it to be very clear what my life was about, what my impact is meant to be, and how I should be remembered, or what my legacy and afterlife will be. And this isn't fear of death. This is a confrontation of death, an acceptance of the reality, and a mild fear of living an unfulfilled life. Not a fear of death, because there's no reason to be afraid of what is a certainty. But we should be afraid of living an unfulfilled life, and that's what these hyper-motivated people are. It's okay to be driven by fear a little bit, but they just want to accomplish today because they don't know if they're going to be alive tomorrow. Bruce Lee is a perfect example of this. He died at 33, which is very young, but it's okay. He lived a full life. He left his philosophy. He left his movies. It's obvious what his life was about, and he lives on. He left his legacy, right? Because we don't know how long we're going to live. And that's the hyper-successful. Hyper-successful, hyper-motivated are very aware of mortality. On the other hand, the unmotivated and unsuccessful live like they're immortals. They say, I'm going to do it tomorrow, I'm going to do it next week, I'm going to do it next month, I'm going to do it next year. Who says you get it tomorrow? Who says you get it next week? Who says you get it next month? Who says you get it next year? How ungrateful are you that you are assuming that you're going to live? You're not going to be thankful today for being alive today, right? That's the difference, is the unmotivated, unsuccessful don't confront death. They are afraid of death. They don't want to embrace death. And they don't think about the consequences of living an unfulfilled life. They're more afraid of death. The hyper-successful are afraid of living an unfulfilled life, accepting of death. Hyper-successful are afraid of death, not thinking about living an unfulfilled life, right? So if you want to get from here to here, my suggestion, this is a super effective hack to change your daily thinking. This has worked for me, and it should work for you. It's not going to work for everyone, but the way it works is you write the word death in big letters, or print it out in red lettering, red Sharpie, red ink. Post it somewhere where you're going to see it every day, preferably when you wake up. The reason why is this keeps your own mortality in mind, the reality of your life's limit in mind. And imagine you wake up in the morning and you open your eyes and the first thing you see is death. I'm grateful to be alive, and man, I'm gonna die someday, and it might be tomorrow, right? My age right now is 26. My true age to death, I don't know. It might be tomorrow. So this video is going out tonight, right? And that is what you can do. Put up death somewhere where you're gonna see it, and be reminded of it. You're gonna get out of bed with a hunger to leave your legacy today. And this isn't going to work for everyone. Again, there's micro factors, diet, energy levels, health, other kinds of things going on, living situation. But if we get down to the root of it, of motivation, it is about our approach to death and the way that we look at it. So my recommendation is embrace death, embrace the unpredictability of death, and thank God or the universe or the dice for birthing you on a daily basis, and live like Bruce Lee. Get started. Get started. Who says you get tomorrow? So I hope you find that helpful. Leave a comment if you found it helpful, as I found it helpful, and thanks.